Hi, my name's William Allgood. I hear you're interested in our restaurant manager's position.
Yes, I definitely am.
All right, well, would you start off by telling me a little bit about yourself?
Okay. As you know, my name's Daniel Gaspard, and I'm looking forward to entering the restaurant industry. It's something I've been doing for a while, and I think I know my way around it pretty well. I've been in the restaurant industry for the past 4 years, and I never seem to have any trouble with it. To the best of my ability, I've been a chef, I've been a waiter, I've done a whole lot of different things, and I'm kind of an ace of all trades, and I learn pretty fast too, so it's always a plus. Plus, I'm really good with people, and I think I have a really good way of getting into other people's shoes, and definitely telling them what they can do better, and working as a team. Most importantly, I'm very big on teamwork.
Awesome. Well, that pretty much takes care of my second question, which is why should I consider hiring you? And told me that you have a wealth of experience and a lot of good attributes dealing with the restaurant industry. So a lot of good reasons to hire you. Could I ask you what motivates you?
What motivates me? Well, to be honest, what motivates me is threefold. There's family first. Then there's accomplishments as a whole, like to achieve success in my life. I have a couple different things that I weigh that with, but I think the thing that motivates me the most is to really meet and touch as many people as possible, and just to make my life better by making their life better.
Awesome. Cool. Well, what would you say are some of your strengths?
Some of my strengths. Well, I guess that kind of doubles back into what I was saying before about being, a very big people person, and the whole teamwork aspect, I think, is a very highlight thing. I'm a natural born leader. Most of the time, I try not to get in people's ways, so I think that's, one of the things that makes me a good leader. I know how to, read people and learn, what they're about. And honestly, I think my biggest strength would be my overall ability to stay equanimous and take in, my surroundings and have them, not overwhelm me, but take over my being so that I can, handle it the best way possible.
Awesome. And could you give me a weakness of yours, perhaps?
A weakness of mine, sometimes I think I can be too caring about other people's perceptions.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. All right. What would you consider your greatest personal achievement to be?
Well, my greatest personal achievement, I have to say that's a pretty good question. I guess it's an ongoing achievement to have balance in my life in all forms, and I guess if you're looking for one like deciding thing that I've achieved, it would there's grades and everything, but it all depends on what you value as like success, and to my understanding, success is your ability to take what comes your way and really make it into who you are. And I think I'm pretty happy all around with what I've done so far, and I like to say my best achievement is that I've given myself more strength to look forward to even bigger goals in the future, and I continue to do that.
Cool. Cool. All right. What would you consider your greatest professional challenge?
Greatest professional challenge, right? Well, I think it comes with the territory of wanting to move up in your industry and being really good at your job. You're always having people that are doing the same, but a lot of people, they target other people and they don't mind the expense of roadkill, if you'll pardon my phrasing. And so, to me, I think the hardest thing I struggle with is making sure I don't step on too many toes, and I think that's the fastest way to move up in most industries is to have less care for the people that you leave behind.
Awesome. Would you describe a time for me that you feel you successfully resolved a conflict with a coworker or a customer?
Well, certainly I would, but to get into that, I have to say the most difficult problems are the ones where a middle ground can't be found after so much time being exposed to that problem. So to be able to stay level-headed and really, find out the root to what is important in multiple people's minds, because that's the problem when you have an issue that lasts a long time, is most of the time people are surrounding one issue that isn't the other person's problem, and they're not meeting the same ground. So when you can find what somebody else is invested in an argument, and then another person, and subjectively insert yourself and find a middle ground, it is really the only way to really handle that situation. And I think one particular instance would have to be a large group of people I was taking care of as a waiter one day. I was taking care of 45 people in a banquet hall, and it was something else. I'll tell you what, I had so many people, and the responsibility was great, and there was a lot of money, thousands of dollars behind it. And at the end of it, one of the instructions at the very beginning, we were told to take each person's credit card because they'd be paying for their own things. And the guy that was younger than I am was working that. He didn't exactly follow instructions. So when time came for the receipts to come out and the smoothness to happen for people leaving, it wasn't there. There was a big time lapse. So to be able to iron that situation out over that, what took maybe 25 minutes, and make it seem like it was less than 5 minutes of trouble for these people, was really the best thing. Because I don't remember hearing one complaint after the fact about that particular party, and that to me is the key. If people walk away and they don't come back to you with a complaint, then you know they're not moving the word on to other people, and you're still bringing in that business.
Say in that situation you didn't feel that you were going to be able to reduce that amount of tension between getting the customers out that quickly. Say you didn't feel like you were going to be able to handle it. Do you have any problems seeking the advice or the help of a superior?
Definitely not. In that particular situation, it was necessary at a point to alleviate the tension with the higher personnel of that party. And I found myself in a lack of words to keep my coworker at ease in his own temperament. So without bringing in my management, I think it would have gone a lot less smooth. And I think to get out of my own way and realize that at a certain point was key to making the entire event run through well.
Very important in an employee, knowing when to ask for help. So the next question is, will you describe a time that you led or organized a group that felt successful to you? I guess you pretty much described a scenario like that just a second ago, but are there any other times?
To be honest, that was one of my many jobs, was to do that over and over again with new people that come into the business. I would show them how to do that, and it was one of my specialties at this work site. I would do it sometimes every day. I'd go in and work a banquet, and I'd make sure it ran smooth between not only myself, the waiter I was working with, which is one of the highest levels of importance when dealing with that situation, was you and your coworker being all together on the same page in every manner. It was also being on the same page with them down to the 28 to 40 people we were dealing with, and we were the middle ground between those 48 people and their meals and the kitchen. And that was the easiest thing, to have a great time doing that work whenever you had the kitchen on your side, because they are the key number one ingredient, without a doubt, hands down, what is important. And I think, the respect I gained from the sous chef working there, and the icon, the level of respect that we shared with each other, kind of tells me volumes about how well I did that.
Awesome. That's great. Have you ever snapped at a manager or been excessively frustrated with authority and wanted to lash out? And if you haven't snapped at a manager, can you describe a time where you resisted that impulse?
Well, that's kind of a tricky problem, because I have to get out my own way again and tell you the truth of it, and that's I have snapped. I think any waiter will tell you they've snapped, but I think the most important thing in those situations as soon as you do, you find out what went wrong and what was the root of it, to get that out so that your manager can know why you did the things you did. And one particular scenario, it was a joking around, jesting kind of situation, but at my own bereavement. And so the situation led to me pulling the manager aside, and I had to talk with him in a serious manner about something that was very playful. But I had so much on my plate outside of work that I wasn't able to take myself out of the situation and see the merriment behind the occasional jest, and afterwards, I would say it put things a little bit a little tense for a while between me and that one manager. But after a while, you keep pushing to make things better and keep that in the forefront of your mind of what's between you, and it leaves it after a while.
Well, that's pretty awesome. It sucks. Sometimes you do snap, but I think you handled it very well. I'm glad to hear that. What do you think makes a good team player? And what qualities do you have that make you a good team player?
Well, I'll say this much: to be a good team player, you gotta roll with the punches and just take it all light. Because when you're part of a team and things are really strenuous and stressful, you got one person taking on the brunt of that, and the rest of the guys, you just gotta keep each other lighthearted most of the time and happy about things. Keep each other distracted about what's getting to you, and that's when you're dealing with other people and you're trying to figure out how they're handling an event or a situation or whatnot. It's gotta always stay playful, and you gotta be happy while doing it, because that's the best medicine to anything going down good. A little happiness, a little keeping it light.
All right, thank you. And can you describe a time when you successfully assisted a fellow coworker, or a time when you successfully sought the help of a coworker or manager?
You mind repeating that for me? I had a little bit to it.
Can you describe a time when you assisted a fellow coworker, or a time when you successfully sought the help of a coworker or a manager? Either one's fine.
Well, getting into the management business, it's funny you say that, because, in the restaurant industry, that's all the time.
Yeah.
That's funny, because if you're not a member, if you're not always thinking yourself as a part of a team of the waiting front, or, your kitchen or your restaurant all together, man, you've always got to be with each other. And that just comes with the large turnaround that's a huge, integral part of being in a restaurant. People are constantly moving in and out. You always have new people coming through. And so it's up to the people that have been there for a while, that know what they're doing, to step up and make sure that the front, what you would call of course you would know, you're hiring me. The front always is the house, the people that come in. And they got to see it all run smooth. So to keep that going good for the people high up in waiting positions, or and managing positions, everybody's got to chip in for every little thing. Even when the people that have pride don't want the help, you can still find ways that they need the help. And it can be the smallest thing, like pouring creamer for somebody to bring coffee out, or telling some new person, hey, don't forget that. And you gotta let yourself be helped too. You can't take it all on. I found myself in plenty of situations where I'm like, no, it's okay, I got that. And then I take a second and I look back and I was like, actually, that'd be a really great help. Would you mind helping me out? Because when you get down in the trenches, you can tell. Some people, it's not as easy to tell, but once you learn it, you figure it out. So
when you hit the weeds,
just say,
it may
hey,
take
man,
you a second, but
hey,
then
man,
you look up.
Give me something small. I got you. Oh, you can go pour me that coffee. Can you bring this out there? Can you, there's plenty of things. And I think that's being a manager, what is so rewarding about that is because that's the main thing about your job, making sure everybody's helping each other, making sure people are accepting help, and just, overall keeping everybody helpful and happy.
Awesome. Well, that was the last question I had for you, Daniel. Thank you so much. I feel like you did a great job. You'll be hearing from us in a couple days.
Thank you. That'd be great. I'm looking forward to it, and look forward to the opportunity if it arises.
Awesome. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.